afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, October 3, 2024, little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're starting to put different links on our website so people can go and find out for themselves how to authenticate their currency and bonds. So, quote from Ramana Maharishi, "Do not delude yourself by imagining your source to be some God outside you. Your source is within yourself. Give yourself up to it. Seek the source within. Merge with it." We live in a world that ignores the fact that a supreme, divine, all-loving intelligence lives within us. We have been programmed to believe we are spiritually disconnected and must fix our broken selves to feel whole and reconnected again. We do not realize it, yet we are just used to feeling spiritually numb, as we have been plagued every day of our lives by an overly materialistic society which is constantly seducing us with its glorified multi-billion-dollar hypnotic media programming. We have contracted a deep case of spiritual amnesia and have forgotten how to relax into our spiritual essence and find our own intimate connection with the divine. This everyday ignorance of our spiritual nature is the greatest lie this civilization is living today. It is the cause of every moment of suffering each human being is currently enduring in this very now moment. One may think this spiritual drought was created by mankind and is not a part of the grand divine design. Nothing is by coincidence or without purpose in this universe. This blind ignorance is within us all on purpose, so that we move more passionately towards a state of awakening. These intense levels of disconnection only drive us deeper inside ourselves to find our own soul. This lifetime that we have is meant to be a deeply enlightening experience. Is there anything more important than knowing how to access your own direct personal connection to an all-powerful, deeply, eternally loving source of highly intelligent, creative energy that has the magical power to manifest anything your heart desires? There is nothing more vital to finding happiness in this life than knowing one's spiritual connection, and nothing more exciting than a proven way to access it, which works every time. No matter how ridiculously stuck any of us feel about our financial situation, relationships, health, sex, life, future, there's always a way to reach freedom. Everything that we've been taught well, I guess you could say, in a way, is completely false. Taking us away from ourselves rather than bringing us into ourselves. And through the course of a lifetime, we all seem to get pulled into this feeling of falling off the path. When the frail, egoic human persona takes over, we tend to get wrapped up in identifying ourselves as what? Small, limited, powerless, time-bound beings who are temporarily imprisoned in a physical human form. This human experience can hypnotize us into believing that we are lost, poor, insecure, unhappy, or simply off track. Now, the great discovery is that the truth is always much bigger than the mind can ever fathom. Whenever we perceive life to be some random, challenging, confusing experience, take an afternoon to digest what I'm going to share with you right now. So open up your inner avenues of connection so that you reestablish a heartfelt relationship with your manifesting being that you truly are. And everything is a step-by-step. It's the old adage, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? The first step is to opening the doorway to meeting your sacred soul starts with feeling into your base core nature. Who are you at the very innermost core level? You are a super powerful divine being. Exploring this exposes you to become the highest authority of your reality and your life, where you decide what is real and what is not. You are the one who is consistently, constantly seeing, believing, and perceiving the reality you think is true. And the mind is always right about what it believes is real. It's never wrong about what direction it's thinking and believing. Even if you fall off the deep end and believe 1 + 1 is 5, the mind will be very righteous about that. And there are many people like this. The mind is all coiled up in an old habit of making up fantastic stories about who and what you are and are not. When this mind drops, you drop into your core basic nature, mindless, still, and free from all thought. The mind will still try to say that you are not enough of this and too much of that. Do not listen to this mind. Listen to your heart instead. There is an unlimited field of love, loving, wonderful energy in your heart, which is the doorway to having a full body, deeply healing, spiritual awakening experience. The next step you take to revealing your soul is found within the space-time continuum. Where, ask yourself, where would the soul reside if it was simply resting and relaxing at the center of you? Where specifically and exactly is the core of you? When you look within yourself, where in space and time is the very center of this thing called you? When you find it, rest for many hours in that space. You'll discover that you are pure, powerful, perfect, sweet, complete consciousness. You are the source of divine perfection. The more we can relax into our center, the easier it becomes to realize there never, ever, ever, ever was anything wrong with you or anyone else. That was all just a big fancy show of the mind, fabricating new stories again. Your soul is beyond the mind, way beyond the mind. It is the ever-present eternal witness at the core essence of you. And is always there, always available, and ready to be explored. This is the inner journey everyone is seeking. It's the one that can take lifetimes to discover. And until we find it, we cannot know deep, everlasting peace. Simple as that. Do not worry. It is predestined that you will find your soul. This spiritual stream of sacredness follows us wherever we go. It is us. When we can really relax deep down in the core of our being, the eyes of the soul begin seeing through us. We can perceive the universal spiritual path within the mundane and understand how it's truly impossible to screw up this life. When we relax, we begin to truly trust life. We can feel like we have an infinite amount of time, energy, resources, creativity, and knowledge to get it right. Only in a very deep relaxation can we surrender enough to bathe in our soul's true eternal essence. The ego and mind are set on the back burner. There is no second guessing about if we have arrived in the parking lot of our soul or not. It's so obvious. It's like the difference between knowing the sun is shining or not. There is only this pure feeling of knowing and getting that we are all unlimited, unbounded, perfect beings connected in each moment to an infinite stream of conscious, intelligent energy. The soul makes us wake up and realize that we can do the impossible. Its energy is so powerful, eternal, and cannot be changed. The more we relax into this understanding, the more we stop fighting with our mind and its list of unfulfilled desires. We simply give up following our thoughts blindly around and begin relaxing beneath them into the quiet solitude underneath the mind, which makes everything in this life more interesting and less challenging than it needs to be. The third step that we choose to take, is to unveiling your spiritual amazingness, is in the practice of a thing called trust. This universe is always protecting you, helping you, and serving your highest good. It has never, never, never abandoned you, and is always here, assisting you to blaze through your challenges and find your greatest possible joy in this life. When you trust in this process, everything changes in your perception and reality. This universe is conspiring in your favor. It wants what you want. Just notice what it feels like to sit back and relax into the feeling of trusting in this universe and knowing it is guiding you. When we practice the trust vibe, we can listen easily to the subtle hints from this universe. We know our life purpose and spiritual direction, and we stop ignoring it. The trusting signs are there. Just look for them. Take heed. Stop getting in the way of your highest possibility. It is in trusting this universe that we can give ourselves permission to manifest the most amazing, miraculous life we could ever imagine. We actually get what we truly want through trusting. We stop settling for a fear-based, rushed lifestyle that we do not really desire. I invite you right now to take time to settle yourself into the energy of trust. Right now, breathe it into your body. Feel it inside your heart. Practice this one all day long, all night long. Notice how good this feels. See if you can notice how many ways this universe is guiding, assisting, and protecting you in the next 48 hours. It is an amazing feeling when you can remain in this state of trust all week long, as it is this energy which opens the door to let your soul's full presence to come flying through. Next step, fourth step, to discovering our soul comes from recognizing and letting go of your fears. Take the time when you're in the grocery line to find out what you're truly afraid of in this life. Look deep inside and face whatever old, dark demons are inside you. They are just you hiding from your own soul. Your fears are not meant to haunt you and stay with you forever. That is not their purpose. You're not facing your fears every day, then they are not fully serving you. You're meant to work with fear, push up against it, so that you expand your sense of self and grow beyond it. Release your attachments to what the fear means, and realize each one is merely a ridiculous, misguided thought. Give yourself fully over to being a fearless human being by facing every fear that arises. You get to know your true warrior self as an all-loving, all-powerful, fearless, multi-dimensional spiritual being with unlimited potentiality. Who knew the darkness would lead us to the light? And with just a little exploration, and our daily journey home becomes a very sacred healing process. Only you can say where the road goes. Everyone sets their goals for the hour, for the relationship, and for every phase of life. L. Ron Hubbard. The fifth step to uncovering our sparkling, bright soul comes from retraining your brain to be alert and remain focused only on that which your true desires. What do you want in this life? What you want wants you to have it. And when you can keep your mind focusing on what you want and off what you do not want, the most amazing things will manifest in your presence. Nobody cares to hear what's on your long list of complaints. Put your kingdom of don't wants up for sale. Recalibrate your mind to meditate on what you do desire. What are those things that make your heart sing? The simple refocusing of the mind on what you want in this life is incredibly powerful and transformative. Once the mind comes around to the conclusion that as long as it's focusing on what it doesn't want, it's never going to be happy. Then it starts to rely more on pure awareness to liberate it. The mind is already deeply trained and programmed to rewind and replay the same umpteen thousand thoughts it had yesterday. It doesn't like to deviate from the norm. Yet, when you redirect it to remain focused on what you want to think about all day long, your soul peeks through and opens everything up, like a flower meeting the first morning rays of sunshine. You come to feel the amazing warmth that is inside your being. This is the day you truly know your soul intimately, and it will show everyone in the most natural, unassuming ways the all-powerful, deeply eternal, loving being you already are. Do not waste your life for that which is going to be taken away. Trust life. Trust God. When you trust, only then can you drop your knowledge. Only then can you put your mind aside. And with trust, something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. Also, isn't it ironic that all of us on this little blue marble on the outer rim of the Milky Galaxy don't know who and what we are? And we are so thoroughly programmed that we miss the target. We immerse ourselves in the material physical world, and we suffer. We suffer because of what? Well, it's not a difficult thing. We gravitate under the ego mind's supervision and direction, where we spend the majority of our time in yesterday or tomorrow. And those are the only places any of us suffer. What kind of suffering? Disappointment, impatience, anger, frustration, lots of things. Then we begin to find out for ourselves, there's another place other than yesterday and tomorrow. That's the now. I like being in the now because all my mind chatter is gone and the ego mind isn't supervising me or guiding me or controlling me. I am footloose, fancy-free. And in the now, I create everything. I create tomorrow, next day, I create the future. Every single step of the way. It's you. We've been taught it's everything outside of us. It isn't. It's you. Where does everything outside of us come from? You. All of us. It's all about you. Always has been, always will be. You discover who and what you are because you choose to. You go within because you choose to. you're not interested in short-term quick fix. You want to really know. You want to meet with who and what you really are. See, this is part of our ascension. Because the more we spend in the now, focusing on the moment, the breath rising and falling, relaxed into the body, the higher frequencies we will experience. It's kind of like you're aligning, you're aligning the material physical world, and you're bridging over to the spiritual existence of the pure consciousness and the God, and then you are aware and you comprehend that you're behind everything. You're behind the body. You're behind all the experiences. You're behind all the challenges, all the joy, the bliss, the happiness. You're behind it all. You're directing it. You're guiding it. Now, one might say, well then, why doesn't everything take care of this ego mind and get it out of the way and then I can move forward and stuff? Because we don't learn or experience that way. If everything was done for us, wow, we would be really bored. Oh, that'll be done for me, this will be done for me, so that's all that'll be done for me. I don't have to lift a finger because it's always done for me. Is that really fun for us? No. Fun for us is connecting with the gods and the pure consciousness that we are in the body, and then just enjoying the heck out of material physical life. So you have that connection. You know who and what you are. Then your life will shift hugely. Like that. Why will it shift? Because you're focused on the now. You're focused on the deep eternal love that you are within that body. You're focused on the light that you are. You're focused on the fact that you have always been wildly free, and you always will be. Forever, beyond, and ever. So you design it. You're the tailor. Okay? You design every stitch, every thread. You pick out the material. You want it to fit very comfortable. Right? You don't care to have it rip or tear by stretching. You don't care to have it binding or constricting. You want it to be perfect. And the true reality of it is, it already is perfect. Because every one of us have it all. We always have had it all. But you can see how we can get lack of trust, lack of confidence, lack of faith in ourselves in this universe. And that's where we negate our abundance, our prosperity, our happiness, our joy, our well-being, all of it. Now, do we do that on purpose? Heck no. We don't know. See? We don't know. So we just do it. It's like a knee-jerk response, We just do it. We're so used to doing it for lifetimes after lifetimes, it's just pretty much what we do. And then some of us begin to wake up. And we have that childlike curiosity come front and center. We want to know. We get very inquisitive. We want to know with ourselves, right? I know I'm not this body. And right in this very now, there are people on this planet that are discovering the fact that this isn't who I really am. This isn't what I really am. Which is a good thing. And then we decide to go within and continue our journey deeper and deeper and deeper. You meet all sides of yourself, and you embrace everyone to their fullest. You forgive along the way on your journey within. Anything that you feel guilty about, anything that you carry with you that weighs you down, it's time to let go of that once and for all of it. Really, all of it. You can do visuals like I've talked about. You know, you can write all this down on some note paper, right? And you can fold it up, don't read it, okay? And then pick a day where you burn it. And you say, I surrender and let go all of this stuff. Because we do have a tendency, due to our programming, to you know, hold on to things, grab them and hold them tight. Isn't it funny? The things we hold the tightest are the things that don't serve us the highest good. Isn't that something? Those are the things we hold tightest to. We carry them all the way till we leave the body. Doesn't it make sense that you have two people and they're both reaching the end of that body life cycle? They're going to leave the body. And it dawns on them that, wow, I want to clean the slate. Some of it, not all of us, but some of us will do that. We just feel like it's time to clean the slate since I'm leaving the body. I'm not going to be here anymore. And I remember a time, I shared this a while back. My mother and sister were so much alike that they didn't get along. They were both Aries, okay? They looked similar. If you look at my mother's wedding picture and you look at my sister's, uncanny on how they appeared. But they never got along. She would irritate my sister would irritate her. And I watched this as the years went by. So they both came down with cancer. You know, my mother, she was in her 90s. And my sister was in her mid-60s. And so my mother was in I'd put her in a nice kind of a retirement place. It's not a nursing home at all. It was a nice place. And she was laying on the bed in her bedroom, and my sister went in there. It was really phenomenal. And she started asking my mother for forgiveness on all the years that they locked horns. And my mother's response was, that's okay. It's not a big deal. You're forgiven. It's all water under the bridge, which my mother would use that statement all the time. That's just water under the bridge. So they both forgave themselves and each other. Which to witness that is phenomenal, because I've seen so many people that carried all that stuff with them and then left the body. And we aren't really aware of it, you know. We go through our lives and we pick up stuff. It's like we've got this sticky paper on us, and like fly paper. This stuff just sticks to us. We carry it around. Man, it'd be nice if it was just a coat, right? And it had all these weights on it, and we could finally just slip it off and drop it to the ground or throw it overboard. But this is what we do. And we experience. So we're getting a heck of a lot of experience doing this, carrying all this stuff. Some people say, well, you're carrying a lot of baggage. I can tell, that so-and-so is carrying a lot of baggage by how they act and how they respond, so on, their energy frequencies. But it's up to us. It's not up to anybody else. We determine or decide. What do we determine or decide? We determine or decide what we're going to do. It's like we say, I don't care to carry this anymore. And when I look at it and I embrace it, it's not serving me the greater good. It's actually pulling me down. And I got a whole closet full of this stuff. I want to clean this closet out, brace everything, and then determine, do I care to keep any of this? And I bet you dollars to donuts that you will say to yourself, I don't need to carry any of this stuff. I can let it all go. That's what I'm going to do. As of this very moment, I release all of you. All of these things that we pick up. None of us are exempt from it because we all do it. And then we release and let go. We surrender. And it feels like a huge, humongous weight has vanished from your shoulders. And we look at everything totally differently. You start to realize that, hey, I can manifest anything I choose. I don't have to go out there and kill myself for 30 to 40 years to get the so-called proverbial piece of the pie. That's all programming in this civilization. We all have the power within us to draw anything we choose, even the stuff that we are not interested in entertaining, but we do give it thought and it comes in. None of it's bad. It's experience. It's what we do. We experience. And one thing that this universal love is quite unique and unusual because it truly is deep and eternal. It is a deeper spiritual type of love than romantic love. As it continues loving you, no matter what you think, say, or do. Only this type of love can heal every cell inside, enlighten our soul, set us free from all of our worries, fears, and pain. This is what real love is all about. And no matter what any of us have done to others or ourselves throughout our life to this point, this universe has forgiven you. It forgave you the moment you needed to be forgiven. The universal love is always instantly there, bubbling up, peaceful, healing vibes within you. You simply have to sit back, choose to sit back, let them in. Release the ideas that love has to come from someone or something on the outside. Imagine it is a perpetual stream of light flowing from the most mysterious divine place on the inside. And feeling this great healing love may start out on a mental, physical, emotional, or perhaps a super sensual level for you. Do not be too concerned about how or where it shows up. Just know it is infinitely deep and real. There's always plenty of it. Just when you thought it was gone, it comes rushing in. All you need to do is simply relax into your life for an extended period of time. Then it will come. It often shows itself as some profound spiritual experience in the beginning. This is your wake-up call, so you know how powerful and real it truly is. And without this great, deep, eternal love flowing in our lives, we remain dumb and numb to our highest spiritual path and life purpose. We feel lost, empty, and lonely without it. We cannot imagine that there is a gold mine of greatness buried inside. All it takes is a little digging into our emotional being, underneath the fears, the doubts, and the worries, with a little small shovel of curiosity. We can find an amazing love at the core. This is the real gold. When we're willing to stop playing with the fool's gold in our lives, the best things in this life begin manifesting. What is real gold is that which will never change. And what just exactly is that? It's the God, the soul, the pure consciousness that you are truly, who you truly are in that body. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on the breath rising and falling. Listen to the wind. There's a great message for you today waiting outside in nature. It's in the forest, where the breeze can touch your face and communicate its gentleness with you. Go outside and listen to the wind. Notice what it feels like when it moves across your skin. Stand outside facing the sun and wait for it. Pay close attention to the movement of air. Let the subtle breeze remind you that whenever we resist anything, it only weakens our sensitivity to it. Let those inner branches of your mind flow and sway with gentle wind moving through your lungs right now. Feel the deep, eternal loving of this life, and know that billions of deep, eternal lovings are headed your way. All greatness comes from being more sensitive to receiving this soft, wonderful movement of life. The purpose of darkness is to make your effervescent soul feel more beautiful, powerful, and brilliant. The real enemy here is the dualistic mindset, which makes you believe that you're separated from divinity. You were never separate, and you will never ever be. So relax. Realize the small thunderstorm will soon pass, and it is helping you wake up from your overextended nightmare. The storm is on your side and is helping you to recognize the all-powerful divine being inside you. It's making sure that you do not fall back asleep into the matrix. The storm is sacred and is making sure that you do not get lost for another lifetime. And the collective mind, which says you're less than divine, trust the deeper divine part of you, who always knows how to relax, let go of fear, and let the brilliant stars high above navigate you through the darkness. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here Friday, October 4, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. And a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call and all the rest. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. No matter what's going on within or outside of you. Be of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. Open your heart and let the magic flow in.